He's got a bump on the back of his neck here, just in here, and that's where the blood's coming from as well.
On this episode,
Looking at him, I'd say he's either been hit by a car or hit the power lines. In a way, it's a delicate balance between treating him, but also not stressing him out too much that he does himself an injury. There's something really warm going between my legs.
What have we got now?
Have you seen his neck vertical? There's a reason why, after he was hit, he didn't fly off.
but first,
Come on, girl. Good girl.
There's no doubt the puppies are on their way. She's anxious, you can see that by her panting.
All this movement
Yeah,
at the back.
really, these are the next few minutes that worry me as a vet. In all honesty, she just wants it to end. She just wants these puppies out. I'm getting movement, but just not a lot of... Has to make that crucial change from water to air. Hey Jeanette, how are you?
Hi, Chris. I'm well. How are you?
Yeah, good, good. Where's our girl?
Upstairs.
Okay. So any change since we spoke?
She's actually, the contractions probably a little bit closer
Okay.
and more frequent.
Yep.
Come through, Chris.
Thanks.
Come and see Bindi.
Is that her favourite little thing?
It is. It is. Can't get her out of it.
I'll put the puppies in there when we're done, I promise.
Yeah.
Well, she's certainly got that real soccer ball shape there.
Yeah.
Has that shifted at all this afternoon? Is that...
Yes, it has, but just in the last 2 hours. It was there earlier.
Yeah.
It's just gone back a bit.
Okay. There's no doubt the puppies are on their way.
But when?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
How many would you say are there, Chris?
Yeah, I think it's a real guessing game. These
Yeah.
guys are notorious for having small litters.
Yes, they are.
So I guess downsize the expectations, I
Yeah.
think is the key. But they can be quite deceiving. They can have a lot of pups hidden up in there, or they can have one that looks like six, but I
Really?
guess
Yeah.
time will tell.
Is it going to be a long night?
I'm preparing myself for it. Yeah. To me, it looks like she's in stage 1 or possibly even stage 2 of labour. It's just a matter of picking when the right time is to intervene. Even though she's panting a lot, she looks in control, she's aware, she's alert, she's looking around, she's happy to make friends, where if she was in full panic mode, she'd probably just be in her own little zone.
Yeah.
She's anxious, you can see that by her panting, but you've got to remember, this is the first time she's ever been through this. All she knows is what she's feeling inside, and it freaks her out a little bit. This is just a sign that she's looking to mum to say it's all okay. Okay. So there's a placental sac actually pushing through her pelvis. So the first puppy is actually coming through. That's through her pelvis, and waters haven't broken, so the placenta's still intact, but is currently in her pelvis, and that's what she's trying to push through.
Yeah.
I'd rather not rush her now while it's actually engaged in the pelvis. Probably the best thing while it is actually coming through is we'll just put it down and let her push through. Being the age she is and it being the first time she's done this, I wouldn't mind actually giving her something called oxytocin, just to move things on a little bit quicker. What it does, it just gives her more push in her contractions.
Yeah.
She's trying and she's pushing hard.
She is.
But perhaps not quite hard enough. And Norwich terriers are renowned for having difficulties getting their pups the whole way through.
Yeah.
So I think if we just give her a bit of extra oomph, it might just be enough to push that puppy through.
Okay, great.
All right. Okay, let's get ready for this. Okay.
Good girl.
Okay, that'll just take a few minutes to kick in, but what you'll notice is that the contractions will come more regularly, but also more forcefully. One really good push can be enough to give that critical extra nudge to get that puppy through, and at the same time, one push can lock that puppy in place. So it's really, these are the next few minutes that worry me as a vet.
All this movement
Yeah.
at the back.
Yeah. That placenta is actually still intact, so it still hasn't burst. We haven't had huge movement since the last time, but there still has been some. To me, it actually feels like her cervix is actually what's holding everything back, so her cervix isn't as dilated as I would have thought it would be. Just because she's not still responding to the level we'd like, I'm going to give her some calcium as well as another hit of oxytocin. So the calcium just makes the muscle contractions even stronger. I'm sure it's the hardest thing, isn't it? Just waiting.
Yes, isn't it?
To be honest, though, my attitude is that if this doesn't work, we'll probably be looking at surgery. And I'll give this about probably 10 or 15 minutes.
Okay.
And then I think we're probably pushing the limits of time.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It's that awful middle ground at the moment. Do you rush in? Do you do the cesarean, or do you sit back and let nature take its course and let Bindi do the pushing? We're just waiting to see if she can do it herself. If she can't, then I'll have to step in and do it for her.
Sharp teeth.
Okay. The reason we don't go to cesarean straight away is because of the risk of anaesthetic to her.
Of course.
And then you've got to realise that the puppies are going to take on the anaesthetic as well, so they're going to be depressed and not that alert when they first come out. So a natural delivery in these circumstances is usually the best. But
definitely.
if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Oxytocin essentially acts to contract the muscle in the uterus to really squeeze it out and force that puppy through. They release their own, but often it's not quite enough, or often the uterus just stops responding to their oxytocin, so you have to give them an extra big hit of it to really force things through. You've got to feel for her. She's just trying to find that comfortable place, but it just doesn't exist. No matter where she goes, there's that ever-present pain and urge to push. But you can see the contractions there almost every second now. It's good that it's going this far, but it freaks me out at the same time. The fact she's walking around, the fact she's talking like she is, just says to me she is a bit distressed. She is a bit confused about what's going on, and in all honesty, she just wants it to end. She just wants these puppies out. So I do actually have a puppy coming through now.
Oh. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Come on, girl.
Come on, girl. Good girl. Good girl. Push.
Head's through, but we've got to wait for the shoulders to come through, and this is where we're stuck at the moment. Go on, Bindi.
Come on, good girl.
Come on, girl.
Good.
I'm just trying to get my fingers up around the shoulders and just pull down and out. At the same time, sort of loosen things around the cervix here.
Good girl.
Just trying to time my pulling on her contractions as well. Give me a push, girl. Come on, Bindi.
Good girl.
It's those shoulders that are stuck though. Come on, Bindi, give me one really good push.
Push.
Yeah, good girl.
Good girl.
Good girl.
Got it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, good girl. Look, he's tiny. It's your baby.
The first thing we're going to do is clear that airway. That puppy has just come from inside the uterus, which is fluid filled, and all of a sudden it's expected to breathe air to survive. If it doesn't make that adjustment, it doesn't live. It has to make that crucial change from water to air. And if it can't make it for itself, I've got to do it for it. I'm getting movement, but just not a lot of breathing. Just trying to force out any extra fluid out of the lungs.
Yep.
At the same time, this is all about stimulation, just pushing the sides of the chest in. Just going to let her have a little lick again. Mum knows best, and she'll stimulate a movement as well. Do you want to go up that end, please, Bindi?
He's quite big, isn't he?
He is, yeah. Decent heartbeat.
Really?
It's not regular.
Expecting big bark. Oh. Bindi, look. Come and have a look at him. Come on. Do you want to see him?
Okay. I'm going to hand over to Mum now.
It's like a little kitten.
I'm just trying to test out his sucking reflex at the moment. It's pretty strong. He's had a bit of a slow start, but he's catching up now. And we're one down. That's great. But looking at Bindi, there's more to come. our standard birth position. I've never delivered puppies like this before.
Really?
No, but it works.
It does.
Just let gravity do its work. Okay.
That's good.
Now, hopefully, just because we've already had that one pup, the cervix and obviously the pelvic inlet there is used to things coming through it that are of that size. Playing the guessing game of what I can feel. I think I can feel feet.
Do you?
I'd say they're back feet, which, yeah, it's not ideal. So it's a breech position. Problem with that is that when we come hip first, that's quite a wide area that has to, I guess, push its way through. The head normally acts as a bit of a battering ram and sort of widens things as it goes, but when you just come back onto it, it's quite difficult. Bindy, you're just not making it easy, are you?
Push pins.
If I can get hold of one of her feet, or both of her feet, that would really help. She gave a really good push then.
Good girl, good girl. 2 more, good.
It's sort of the position that the vets dreaded, the breech position. And this is why, when you've got a head coming through, you can grab the head and pull that with the shoulders. But with this, you're grabbing hold of slippery toes, and that's it. It just makes it a nightmare. Yeah, this delay isn't good for the puppy's health.
Good girl. Come on, Bindy, darling. You poor baby.
That's just so frustrating. This foot just keeps on slipping through my fingers. The concern for me at the moment is the other pups and his mum. To be honest, I don't hold out a lot of hope for this pup.
Come on, Bindy. Good.
Here we go, girl. You've almost done the impossible here, girl.
Good girl.
Well done.
Good girl. It's okay. Got it?
Yep. Oh, bub. Come on. You're getting this far. Hey?
Come on.
Come on, puppy. You can do it. I need to surprise all of us, huh? There's nothing yet. No, it doesn't look good.
Any movement?
No. Nope. Sorry, girl. Sorry, Jeanette. Sorry about that. Sorry,
Oh, you certainly tried. My God, it's been a hard night, isn't it?
It's not over.
I don't know whether Bindy could take any more.
She needs a rest, but I guess whether her body's going to let her have a rest is another thing. It's really heartbreaking, especially considering the effort that Bindy went through and Jeanette as well. But it also tires out Bindy too, which let's hope isn't a critical thing in the future. I'm really considering now
Yeah,
taking her to cesarean.
yeah. She's too tired.
Well, she is. And the problem we've got now is there is a puppy very close to engaging and pushing through, but she just can't
No.
make the effort.
Okay, we'll do it.
I'm all for being patient, but at the same time we do have to be mindful of Bindy and her health. So now the plan is we head straight to the clinic and then go to work and see what we can do. Okay, if you get her up here.
Oh, she's really tired.
Yeah.
I'm just getting a bit of a second wind now at 4 a.m. Is that what it is? 4 a.m. almost?
So this is a really tricky part because whatever anaesthetic we give her, we're in effect giving to the puppies. So we just use a really low dose. Alright, girl, wish us luck. See you on the side, alright? You getting sleepy? never really want to rush a surgery, but if there's one to rush, this is probably it. We've got puppies sitting on the inside that are trying to work out what the hell's going on outside. Probably feeling a little bit dizzy, and they need to get out quickly. Ready? Yeah. There you go. Only one more pup. We came so close without the cesarean, but it just had to be done. It's just hard not to go frantic in this situation. We've got one puppy over here that's just struggling to breathe, but you just can't forget about Mum as well. She is going through a lot of trauma internally. She's the focus right now, and we're working on the pup over there. The pup looks to be doing okay. We're getting some signs of life. The colour's certainly improving, and that breathing is becoming more regular. So fingers crossed those signs continue to improve. Good sound, little man. Scream like you hate it. Oh. She's now got the perfect family. A little girl and a boy. Hey, Mum. You know this one? You know this one? What's that? It's now time to go and tell Jeanette, I guess, the good news. She must be frantic out there. Now, Jeanette.
Yes.
You've met your little boy before.
Yes.
But you haven't met your little girl before.
Oh.
So she just had the one puppy in there.
Did she?
And that was her when she was alive.
Oh, they're so beautiful. My God. How sweet.
Beautiful.
How sweet.
Noisy and beautiful.
She looks a bit bigger than him.
Yeah, she is.
Oh my gosh, what a night. What a night.
Bindi was great. I was amazed how well she went into anaesthetic and then how well she came out. She's up and alert at the moment. She's already sniffed a new little girl. And
really?
Yeah, she's great.
They are just so adorable, my God.
Oh, just like a mother.
I know. Look, it's amazing I have these instincts. I promise you this one's real. It's not my finger. This one will actually get you something.
Well, the only name we had was for the boy, little Boney. Bindi's mother was called Juliet. We thought we should name a girl after the mother, so she might be Juliet.
If you've got Bone and Juliet, it's not too much of a stretch to have Bonio and Juliet.
Oh!
Thank you. It might be 6:30 in the morning, but I'm still functioning.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, see? Bonio, onto it. I'd like to think that I've done a lot of work tonight, but you look at Bindi, she's just been going at it all night. So she needs some rest. The puppies, they'll get plenty of rest, and yeah, probably count me in that as well. What's this? Is that day? I'm going home.
Very, very cute. It's a hard one, but I think we're going to keep them.
Hi there. How are you? I'm Chris. Nice to meet you all. So what's going on? We've got a pelican. Oh, really? So do you think he was hit by a car? Did anyone...
It's bleeding.
Bleeding, is he?
Yeah. And it has a fishing hook in its leg as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've noticed that while we were watching
Wow.
it. We had to sit here and protect it because the magpies kept on trying to dive bomb it.
Okay. Let's see how we go. We'll get him in the corner here. You feisty? Seem to be able to get those wings flapping pretty nicely. It doesn't hurt, unfortunately. You don't have teeth. I know you think it might, but it doesn't. Hey.
A lot of blood was coming up from under his feet
Was it? Okay.
and bleeding here. I don't know how the blood was from here, but he was just lying right up on the gutter. And I went to him and he got up, but I could see he couldn't fly away.
If you can hold his beak there
Yeah.
and just support his neck, we'll actually take him out here a little bit. Some grass here. That's good. So my biggest concern is their wings, because obviously when they're often when they're hit, they're flying.
I don't know if he's hit the power lines of him.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He's got a bump on the back of his neck here, just in here, and that's where the blood's coming from as well. If I feel down there, there's a big bump there. You can see their wingspan's so huge, he's having no problem getting them right out. So I'm happy with all the bones, I guess, from here on. His skin really crackles when I feel it. Now, that's gas underneath his skin.
Okay.
That can be normal in them, so it doesn't rule out the possibility of some sort of internal trauma that's caused him to burst some of the air sacs that are inside their body. Their bones are quite hollow and they've got air in them, but also their lungs aren't like our lungs. They're sort of just big air sacs. So I'm just keen to give him a really good health check of all the important parts. His legs are nice and strong. He's really resisting that. Oh, there we go. There's a bit of bleeding there. So he's got some injuries in his mouth there.
Yeah,
Hey, it's all right. It's all right, buddy. I know, mate. It's all a bit foreign. So he's suffered a bit of head trauma. Whilst he's got some blood in there, it looks like it's almost coming from just a very small cut there. So I think the majority of the injuries have actually been in this neck here. Now, he moves it pretty freely, but he's not obviously going to tell us, like a dog or a cat might, about where he's sore. His heart rate's quite high. It's in a fair bit of stress, understandably. I'd say only he would really be able to tell us exactly what happened. Looking at him, I'd say he's either been hit by a car or hit the power lines. And if that's happened, he's probably been lucky to survive without an electric shock. But the power lines, they're obviously fairly tight wires and they can do quite a bit of damage as their body sort of slices through them. The next step really is to take him back to the vet hospital. We're going to have to x-ray him to make sure that his neck is clear of any fractures or any damage, and really just check those wings and also remove that fish hook that's sticking out of his leg. In a way, it's a delicate balance between treating him but also not stressing him out too much that he does himself an injury. And with a neck like this, he could have quite easily twisted it and break it himself. We have to be really careful. Just for the trip back to the clinic, I just want to keep his beak isolated because he's going to keep on snapping away. Just that tip there. Just by taping it like that, it still allows him to breathe, but at the same time, it stops him from endangering others, but most importantly himself, because he could quite easily stick his beak where it isn't needed. Thanks. Cheers. All right, talk to you soon.
Okay. Oh, at least we saved him, I think, hopefully.
We all right?
Yeah. Oh, this is driving me insane. Can I just ask you something, Pablo? Are you scratching at all? I think we need to have a serious talk about who you've been mixing with, because I'm starting to get very itchy. I'm starting to see a few lice on you too, which I think are the same things that are on me now. He's managing this okay. It's all obviously pretty overwhelming for him, and he's just wishing this whole trip was over. But all in all, I've just been watching his breathing rate and just how aware he is, and I'm pretty comfortable with his situation at the moment. I don't think you can really have a bird with so much personality like this without giving him a name. So, I don't know, I think somehow Pablo might suit him. Pablo and his million lice. You expect to see in a car is a pelican peering out the window. Get the window down if you like.
What's with the Pelican?
It's a very good question. He's been hit by a car. Yeah, so just take him back to the vets and get an X-ray him and...
Okay, good luck.
No worries. Just wish we could find a way through this traffic. He's still got some blood dripping from his beak, which does worry me, so hopefully we won't take too much longer. Can you actually just hold his beak there? Yeah. Hey, buddy. Now, it's not what you would have expected.
What have you got now?
Pelican, mate. Can you
Pelican.
actually give me a hand?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, buddy. He's either been hit by a car or run into power lines.
Okay.
So if you can just concentrate on his wings, just holding his wings pretty firm there.
Yeah.
Thanks, mate. That's great.
Wow.
He's got a hook in his back foot there.
You don't realise how big they are, do you?
Got a real presence about them.
Yeah.
It's Pablo, by the way, now.
Right, it's named already.
Yeah. Bleeding's just come out of his nasal area there. So that says to me that he's suffered a fair bit of head trauma because there's some quite fragile bones through that nasal area. He's also got a bit of bruising down here, so we need to x-ray this whole neck area. I want to check out his wings as well.
Okay.
And just double check his legs. His legs look pretty good,
Yeah.
apart from the fish hook there. And now that you're holding him, it's probably a good time to tell you that he's actually covered in lice as well. So thanks, Nick.
Thank you. We'll sort you out, hey?
If anything, seems a little bit more aware now, which is good.
Was he a bit stunned before?
Just a little bit confused, and just
Yeah.
his movements weren't too fluid. He's just a little bit uncoordinated.
I'm itching.
Already.
Yeah, got him. Thanks, Chris.
That's all right. No, mate, it's the least I can do. You know, you got to share the love around here, and if love is lice, then that's just the way it is.
Nice.
The fact is, these X-rays have to be taken. He could quite easily have a partial fracture of one of the vertebrae in his neck, or even a wing fracture. And there's a reason why, after he was hit, he didn't fly off and leave. Now, that could very well be concussion, but at the same time, it could be an injury. We need to work that out now because he can't be released if he does have a fracture. He's still breathing pretty comfortably, isn't he?
Yeah, it's all pretty stable here. Okay.
That's great, mate. That's fine. Yeah, all good. Thank you.
X-ray!
All right, thank you. So his main injuries seem to be around the back of his neck here, at about C3, and also in around his nasal passages where they just have thousands of these tiny, very fragile bones that when they suffer any sort of impact, they very easily crack and fracture, and by doing that, they bleed out through his beak. The fact is, after going through what he has, Pablo is incredibly lucky to be alive. We just have to keep him that way. You get to give a bit of slack and get it right through, I think. The fact is, he's going to need medical supervision during the night, possibly even treatment. So having him in the clinic makes a lot of sense for us. Plus, we can give him a few feeds as well. Certainly can't miss it. Let's hope he's colourblind.
It looks a little bit like a sick kid's hospital, you know?
First thing he's going to need is some dexamethasone to help him deal with that trauma. I'm just going to give him 2 mils straight into his breast muscle. So just to support his circulation as well, we're going to give him some fluids. The more I look at him, the more I think that being hit by the car is almost the final nail. Before that, he's been weak, he's been malnourished, and on top of that, he's had the lice really trying to weigh him down even more. Yeah, this is actually dog flea and tick spray, but it'll actually work really well on his lice. Good thing is these guys live in the feathers, and so just spraying them superficially like this should do wonders.
Fish for dinner?
Ah, thank you, sir.
There we go.
Very nice. See that, Pablo? We are looking after you. Thanks, mate. Okay, now this is going to be interesting, and you'll find out why. If you just hold him there. I don't mind if he's like that.
Yeah. You want me to hold this up like this?
Yeah, you'll see.
Okay.
So let's pick out a small one.
Yeah, that one looks small.
Really small. Okay, we just need his neck vertical.
So, do you want me just to hold up?
Oh,
here?
I've got it.
And I'll hold
Just support the base of his neck
his
there.
neck. Okay.
Okay, let's get that right up in there. Be a little bit tricky, you might try to regurgitate it. How's that? Is he going to come back up?
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit of a trick. He's going to try and regurgitate it, so this looks very bizarre, but just tie this around. Even though he's close to starving and all he needs right now is fish, for me to give him fish feels very foreign and he's stressed out and his instinct is to regurgitate straight away. We have to prevent that by just holding his neck or even tying this cord around just to prevent that regurgitation. Feeding's the last thing on his mind. He just wants to be left alone, but we have to make him eat because he's so fragile right now. He needs nutrition. Here it comes, buddy. Let's have a look at this fish hook. People often do get really freaked out by the look of fish hooks in birds, but the sad reality is a lot of pelicans actually live their lives with hooks in them the whole time. So this one, it doesn't really worry me, but we've obviously got to get it out. I'm just going to put some local anaesthetic around the base of it, because the only thing holding it in is that barb. There we go, simple as that. It is pretty rusted, so it has been in there for a fair amount of time. And old Pablo has been coping pretty well. Okay, I think it's bedtime.
Okay.
All right?
New home.
Yeah, let's see. Okay. Yeah. Look at this, Pablo. Let's get excited when we reveal it, okay? You ready, Pablo? Look at this. Wow. Well, that's not bad. There we go. If you regurgitate, I'm not going to be happy. The fact he's fluffed up implies that he's a bit stressed. Now, it worries me, but I'm not surprised. He's been through the top drawer of bad days for a pelican. He's already malnourished. He's got a huge lice burden all over him, and then he's been hit by a car. So, if he looked relaxed, I'd be even more surprised. All right, mate, good night. Hopefully see you in the morning, okay? Be strong. See you later. Good morning, Pablo. Bit of a sunbake, huh? Pretty good. How are we? Are we okay? You know, we spent a lot of time together last night. We're still not great, are we? Come on. This morning we have fish or fish. Just a bit of a yawn. It's obviously a bit early in the morning for Pablo. He's a late riser. I think after he's here for a while, he can assess where his life's got to and where he can head from here, and hopefully he'll make the right decisions. Hopefully a bad Spanish accent will probably convince him that getting out of here as soon as possible is the right way to go. He's just showing us a little bit more of his true self. He's looking around, he's more inquisitive, but also he's grooming himself. And to me, that's a good sign that he's starting to take care of himself. And that's ultimately the goal. He has to look after himself once he leaves here. Also, he needs to be built up. He's still extremely skinny. So it's just a diet of fish, fish, and more fish. Hey, Pablo, you want the fish, huh? You want the fish? Oh, Pablo, he likes the fish, huh? You see how the fish has actually gone down sideways there? On a hand? He's going to have about 2 or 3 times a day just to build up his protein levels, his fat levels, so when he does go out in the wild, even if he has a few tough days out there, he can still make it through. Hey, that way. Ready? Better, much better. I'm going to say that this does bring back a few memories. That my family seems to be synonymous with pelicans. My dad, who's a vet, treated a pelican when I was just a kid that had actually had its top beak blown off with a shotgun from a fisherman. And for 6 months we had a pelican called Percy in our backyard and we used to have to feed it and look after it. So this isn't entirely foreign. Hey Pablo, I have a surprise for you. Look at this. The idea might be that, instead of taking the fish from me, you take the fish out of the water, because that's really what happens in the wild, and you've got to learn that. It'll take a while, Pablo. Just be patient. Pablo, does this change your opinion of the pool? That was quick. You've got to learn that I'm not the provider of all fish, okay? No. This is where the fish live, in there. In there. This is what they do. A lot of people don't realise that pelicans don't necessarily need to be in water the whole time. He's quite happy being in this enclosure without this water. It's just a matter of making sure that he gets used to that feeding program of being in water when he eats. Here. It's all right, Pablo, come on. It's okay. It's going to be painless unless, this whole health retreat thing's really done bad things to your waistline. No, that's just too difficult. Come on. All right, this is the other way. This is the other way. We'll do this together. Okay. So you weigh 102 kilos. How are you with that? No, it's not right. Okay, we'll take mine off, which is 99. You're 3 kilos. Given that amount of weight gain, given the fact he's getting more and more feisty, and, I think our bonding time's over. What do you reckon? Let's go. Oh, you know it, don't you? You know it, not just yet. Patience. There's one thing you haven't really learned, patience, but I just want you to do just a little bit of that right now. You're so excited, aren't you? I know. What? There's something really warm going between my legs. Is this square up? Is this payback? I've had you in a confined space for a few days and now the moment you've got me in one, you're getting me, aren't you? He's pooed on me. Quite a journey. Obviously the excitement of the car trip and of release meant quite a bit to me. That's a nice way of saying thank you in some sort of way. You worked out what's going on? I reckon you have, Pablo, what a night, huh? Perfect conditions. He's only about 2 or so kilometres from where we actually found him, so he won't be too far away from his friends. He just looks a lot more lively too, and his feathers are a lot more wider and brighter, and he just seems more proud in everything he does. I gotta say, I've bonded with him. He's a very special bird, and he's got a lot of personality, and I think we might just miss Pablo around the clinic. Ready to go? Okay, mate, let's go. Probably not really surprised that the lazy last few days extends into a lazy evening watching the sunset. He looks happy though. He's swimming strongly and just taking it all in, working out where he is, arranging a few rendezvous for tonight, I'm sure. He'll find the rest of the pelicans, he'll be happy.
If you guys loved that video, great. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel below. That way. That way.